word mantra, we hear it all the time. Man means mind, and tra means to rest. Right? In Sanskrit, tra has two meanings. One is the word rest, and the other deeper meaning is the word to deliver. To deliver. So, this power of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It has the power to actually still your mind and situate it in a particular place. In other words, it becomes peaceful. Our mind, by nature, it is in the Gita, the mind is considered to be very restless, like a deer that keeps, jumping up and down. And it's true. If I ask every one of you for 2 whole minutes not to think of pink elephants, right now you will start thinking of pink elephants, because that's the nature of the mind. Have you noticed how when you tell your mind, please don't think this way, that's the exact thing the mind will tell you to do. It will insist it must think in a certain way. It's very powerful, very powerful. And sometimes we don't realize we think we're in control of the mind, but factually when we look back at our life and we examine the things we have done, we actually realize that the mind has been in control of us. So that's why the mantra is very important. When you are able to chant mantra effectively and you can hear it well, then you find the mantra has the capacity to still your mind. It may not immediately come down, but it is better than what it is now. And the only way to know it is when you test it. So all the talk in the world that I do now is not going to help. And if you really want to experience it, you have to get yourself immersed in it. Right? So much of what we do today is actually on the realm of experience. You realize that? It's really on the realm of experience. And that's the best teacher, when you experience something, right? I tell people chanting doesn't cost you anything. We're not charging you for chanting. Singapore, right up to now, if you chant, you're not taxed. So that's also still free, right? So nothing is happening there. So there's no reason not to chant actually, right? And how should we chant? We chant with as sincere an attitude as we can. That's all we have to do. And you know something? While we have seminars for every aspect of human development, we don't have a seminar to cultivate sincerity. Because sincerity is so innate in us. We all know how to be sincere. It's just what we want to be sincere about, that's the difference. Right? So it's a very important point. I want to tell you a quick story before we start. There was this man, there was this little boy who was very addicted in a village to sweets. Indian sweets. If you have eaten Indian sweets, you'll realize they are very sweet, right? If you eat too much of it in a day, I think you can get diabetes. That's how sweet it can be. So the mother was very, very upset and worried that the son was too much addicted to Indian sweets. So she brought him to a wise old man in the village and told him, my dear sir, please help me cure my son of his addiction to sweets. And the man looked at him and said, fine, I'll do it. Bring him back in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, the boy comes back. And 2 weeks after, the mother comes back to pick the boy up. And lo and behold, he has given up his desire and addiction to sweets. So mother is very happy. She thanks the she thanks the master very much, but she asked him one question. Why did you take 2 weeks to see my son? Were you busy? Was your schedule difficult? Did you have to do some preparations? Things like that. I'm curious. And he said, when you told me to cure the addiction of your son's sweet, right? I realized that I had to cure my addiction to sweets. And I needed 2 weeks to do that. But once I cured my addiction to sweets, I could transmit that cure on the realm of experience. And that is what we're trying to do here. Right? That's what we're trying to do. So please chant. Doesn't matter how you come out. Like I said, nobody's going to die. And even if they die, we have a belief if you chant and die, you'll be fine. So don't worry. Okay? Is Prakash here? Could you just increase the volume a little bit because I have a sore throat. At some point, I'm just afraid my voice will leave. Thank you. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vivishesha Sunyamadi Astadya Desatha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaurabhakta. If you feel that it gets too much of a scratch and I hear some feedback, then drop it. It's okay. Drop it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Your point. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare You know, it is stated that you can test the effect of the holy name when you chant. It is stated in the scriptures that when members of the audience and everyone assembled chant the holy names with their heart, three things will happen. The first is whatever material hankerings that we have in our heart, during the time of chanting, you will actually not feel them. And you can ask yourself, you can go back and check with yourself. Whatever hankerings that we have, generally speaking, when you start chanting, you find that for some reason or another, you are not so hankering. The second effect of chanting is that whatever envy that we have in our hearts, when we chant, we realize that actually there is not much envy. Sometimes there's no envy. If you go for a social function, for example, like a wedding or gathering where there's no spirit in the center, you'll find that it's very easy for us to become disturbed by social talks, conversations, and sometimes it's easy for us to start thinking, oh, he greeted someone, didn't greet me, said hello to someone, didn't say hello to me. And very often people come back from such places either feeling more hankering, more envy because my neighbor just told me he upgraded and I haven't upgraded, and that becomes difficult for us. But in a setting where we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, actually nobody is looking at anyone. I was looking at you all, no one is looking at anyone because we're not bothered how we look, we're not bothered what we're dressed like, we're just concentrating on the name. And the third effect of the name that the scriptures tell us, which is very powerful, is that whatever anxiety that we have in our hearts, at the point when you're chanting, the mantra is so powerful that you actually do not feel so anxious. You feel more peaceful. So until you actually test it, it's actually very difficult to understand that it has effect. Some people come back and say, you know what, when I was chanting, it was right, you're absolutely right. No anxiety, no anger, no jealousy. But the moment I stopped chanting and I walked out, everything came back again. So what to do? So I tell them, that means you chant more, and chant more, and chant more, and chant more. Build your life in such a way that you have a time that's your appointment with yourself, and rest it on chanting. It's very powerful. Are we out of time, Prakash Prabhu? Where is he? Huh?
If you feel we're out of time, we can end.
Should we do 10 minutes more?
Yes.
Are you all right? Any violent objections to it? Are you all right? Yeah? Let's chant. Let's chant. And by the way, it was so nice to hear you all chanting. I could hear you, so very grateful to you. It's so nice to be with an audience where you are actually trying to chant the holy names and I can hear it. It makes such a difference. Otherwise, it can be very daunting sometimes. Many people come and tell me that the harmonium is an Indian instrument, but I keep telling them it's German. But it's so connected to India that every time I take out a harmonium, I think it's the Indian thing. But it's actually German. The Germans forget that too. So. You can sing this in traditional, classical, you can sing it with a bit of western, sing it with jazz, you can sing it with bluegrass. The sky is the limit, depending on how you are trained in your music. And it's really nice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to the chanting of the holy name. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much for reciprocating. Thank you so much for immersing yourself in the chanting. Very grateful to you. There must be a reason why we all have met. It cannot be accident. There must be some arrangement. The only question now is, what do we do with it? That is the key. Each one of us will take back something with us today, I'm sure. We all are on a journey. And we pray that somewhere, somehow, we can serve each other in this journey. Thank you. Thank you.
It is said that gratitude is the seed of love. Many of you have heard me say this multiple times. And everything we do at this retreat is about love. And Devakinandan Prabhu is very, very busy, but so compassionately has given us his time, his wonderful music. So I invite all of you to raise your hands, close your eyes, and to thank him, we'll chant the Mahamantra once loudly together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Devakinandan, could you please explain? Many might be wondering why we are raising our hands. Can you please leave it? 2 minutes.
Actually, raising of hands is actually a sign of surrender. You all know when someone points something at you, you go up like that, right? But it's better to do it with love, and it signifies so much of humility. It also shows that we are not really in control of everything in our life, even though we hope to be, but we also accept that there are many things in life that are not in our control. And it's also about surrendering to a higher force, a higher energy, and hoping that we can be aligned with it. So these are some of the reasons why we do it. I put up my hands not to thank myself, but to thank you actually, just in case. Huh?
I like to call it a cosmic hug. When we feel grateful for a person, we give them a hug sometimes. And if all of us go and hug there, it might be overwhelming, so it's a cosmic hug.
Yeah, it would be.
I have an announcement that once a month, every first Friday of the month, we do run Kirtan sessions, free Kirtan sessions at most of the time at Little India in our center. Most of the time we get Devakinandan Prabhu to come and sing. Sometimes we have some other people like Mira from yesterday. So how you can sign up is you can go to my website, go under events, click under book online and then events. It's up there, RSVP. Just if you're not coming, please cancel, RSVP no. If you have changed your mind about attendance, just so that we know who's coming, who's not coming, and also because we prepare dinner and home cook, so we need to know how many number of people. But you're welcome to come and attend. I'm actually running a house program, not my house. Friday, 28th of October, somewhere at Serangoon Garden, somebody's house. Also Kirtan sessions and also some Q&A sessions. You're welcome to join. And then 4th November, which is the first Friday of the month, is the regular monthly Kirtan program in Little India. Welcome you to join. Go to our website, go register there.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's free. Of course, you are welcome to drop a donation to the center. For house program, no, you don't need to drop any donation. Okay? Thank you. I think it's time for
Lunch.
Yeah. Please have your lunch. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the next session is at 2:50. The next session.
No, we are running late. Let's see the lunch. Okay, quickly.
There are two ways to do it. Some people feel stronger when you just